Hi guys, and welcome to Rise and Grind, where we give you quick business tips that'll give you a better buzz than your morning coffee. This is going to be part 2 of our Facebook advertising series. If you're just joining us, make sure you go back and check the video from before where we go over all the things and criteria that your business should meet before even considering Facebook advertising. Super important stuff and definitely worth checking out. So if you're ready, now we're going to jump into the nitty-gritty, behind the scenes, Facebook stuff of setting your first campaign. Get your pen, get a paper, because it might get a little messy, but hang in there. It's going to be really good, valuable stuff. So let's get started. First things first, you need to set up a business account. Now, we've discussed before that you must have a business page. You cannot do this from a personal page. So if you're still working off your personal, doing business stuff, now is the best time to finally make that move over to a business page. Now, if you check out some of our previous videos, we've discussed how easy it is to make that transition, how you can segment your list and do a bunch of different things. So definitely go back and check that out. This is in our Facebook week for Rise and Grind, and you'll find all the details there. You have to have a Facebook business page. So with that Facebook business page, what your next step is to create a business manager account. Now, creating a business manager account is as easy as going to business.facebook.com. That's business.facebook.com. Now, this is a platform that Facebook has created to manage your ads, to manage clients' ads, to pay for your ads, to make your ads, to do all things ad related. So whether you're a single business or you're an agency doing tons of ads for clients, you are going to work from Business Manager. It is required. It's not an option. So you do have to go and set this up. Once you're in there, make sure you fill everything out, which is going to be the payment section. It's going to be who's on your team, permissions, getting your page, all kinds of stuff. It's going to take a little bit of time, but get in there and do it. It's definitely step one, has to be done. Once you get all that figured out, we can actually start our first campaign. So it is a campaign. So what that means is we're not just starting an ad. Campaigns can have several ads in them. So you do need to start a campaign. We can call it, $10 off coupon for July. There's your campaign. Now in that campaign, we can have several ads. We can have one ad that's specific to men and an ad that's specific to women, or we can have one that's both for women, but we are trying different images. This is where a lot of your testing can happen, or your very segmented ad specific to your demographics. All of this happens in the campaign. So first things first though, click on Create Campaign. So once you click on Create Campaign, the first thing you're going to have to choose is your objective. Now, Facebook gives you 10 options. I know, 10 options. It sounds like a lot, but this is, again, how we get so specific into making sure that you're getting the result that you want. So your 10 options are brand awareness, knowing that you exist. So this is going to focus on several impressions. So they'll pick a group, you'll pick a group, they'll pick a group together, and they will show this to them several times, starting to make that impression on the brain that you exist and you're a thing. Next thing is reach. This is going to be as many people as we can in the fastest time as possible. Maybe you have an event that's going on and you want to make sure you get, exposure to as many people as possible to try to get the masses in. So they're not going to be shown this ad several times. They're going to be shown once, but it's going to be shown to lots of people. That's your objective. Another option is traffic. That means taking all the traffic to get somewhere. Everyone on the 405 going to LA, right? Your traffic, you're setting traffic. So usually this is to a website or something like that. Next option is engagement. I want people to do stuff. I want them to talk to me. I want them to like my page. I want them to do something. Engage with me. Engagement. Next one is app installs. Pretty self-explanatory. I want them to install my app. Another one is video views. Maybe you have a video and for some reason it makes sense for them to watch it. If you could just get them to watch it, you can handle the rest. Awesome. there's an objective for that. Let's say there's an app for that. Next is lead generation. So lead generation is when you're trying to collect an email, phone number, name, some kind of information, a lead, somebody who's like, yeah, I'm interested, here's my info, and you're going to do something with it after that. That's lead generation. Next is conversions. Conversions is an action that you want to happen. So they sign up for something, they make a purchase, they make it to a certain page, or some sort of action conversion that needs to happen. Conversions. Next one is product catalog sales. That's pretty clear. They need to buy products from a catalog, online stuff, all that. So they buying stuff. Last one is store visits. This is for people with physical locations and getting people to show up. Facebook can actually track like from an ad to somebody who's shown up at your front door. I know, like awesome, scary. You pick a side. For marketers, it's awesome. For people, it's scary. But yeah, we share all the information anyway. So store visits. That's another awesome thing for retail fronts, things like that. Each choice is going to affect your options when it comes to your setup, your ad placement, bidding, and more. But we can get into all that a little bit later. So we've gone there, right? We chose our objective. Next, we need to choose our ad set. It's called an ad set. The easiest way for me when I first started to remember this was ad set was just a way to say the set of people I want my ad shown to. So what that means is this is the place where we start getting into those demographics that we talked about yesterday, that really understanding your target audience and knowing all the little tiny details and nuances about them. So this is where you're going to go to, again, demographics, location, gender, income level, where they work, if they have birthdays coming up, like any of you have like party-based type events, you can target people by upcoming birthdays. Hello, like that's amazing. I know someone who had like a limo service and they totally did ads targeted to people with upcoming birthdays. Freaking genius. Amazing. And yeah, they had great results. Of course they would. So you cut out all the noise of sending it to like, maybe grandma who's not going to use a limo ride, and is like you get instead in front of the 21-year-old is like, oh my God, I'm going to blow all my money on going to a limo, right? So this is where you choose that kind of stuff. The next thing you're going to choose in the same section, ad set, is placement. This is where your ad goes. So is it in the news feed? Is it in the right column? Is it in your extended audience network? What that means is, say you click on a blog and you're on Facebook, you click on the blog from Facebook and you go in there, then you'll see an ad like in between reading, and it's actually a Facebook ad, even though it's not on Facebook, because you left from Facebook, so you're like connected to Facebook. It's a whole thing. Facebook handles all that. You don't get to pick and choose, but Facebook will place it in those places, and sometimes it makes a lot of sense for you to do that. They also have a thing called instant articles. There's also the option to do mobile only. If for some reason it makes sense for you to cut out desktop users for your thing, or vice versa, maybe it makes sense, like you're like, people on their phone are not going to deal with my thing. I want only desktop users. So again, those are placement things that you can choose. Technically, there may be some options left off depending on your objectives that you chose. All that stuff. I know it gets really messy. This is why we have a workshop for this, guys, and it takes 6 weeks. I'm trying to cram as much as I can in like 20 minutes. So this is where you're going to do placement. Then after that, you're going to choose your budget. How much do you want to spend? How much can you spend on your campaign? This is something that you can choose by day. Like, I only want to spend $5 a day. I'm going to run this indefinitely. Or I'm, only want to spend $140. And this is how often I want to show it. They'll calculate how long that'll work. I mean, there's different ways to set it up. You'll see that in there. But this is where you get to set your budget. And as I kind of like squeeze in there already, this is also where you schedule. So this is an amazing, amazing part of it as well, is knowing when your ad is going to be shown. You don't have to show it just 24/7. You can show it when it makes sense. We ran an ad campaign with a client for parents, and we were starting to notice that our highest engagement was happening around that like after school pickup time. My theory is that while they're sitting in their cars waiting to pick up their kids, they're sitting there scrolling on their phones. I don't care the reason. All I know is the engagement was happening. So we moved our ad times to that after school hour and saw a significant increase in our conversions by doing that. So this is a great tool. If you sell hangover cure, then maybe Saturday and Sunday mornings are really good times for you to run your ad as opposed to Tuesday nights. So again, scheduling, this is a great thing. And this is where you do it. You're here in the ad set section. So now that you've done this, you've chose your objective, you've set up your ad set. Now we're going to get to the actual ad. Now we're going to get to the creative part. So the first thing that you need to do in this section is to choose your format. And the format consists of 5 different options. So the first one is the carousel ad. And you may have seen these where it is the, one company, maybe it's Acura did this once. So Acura had 3 different ads next to each other. And it was essentially just a picture of a car, but it was broken up into the 3 different pieces of the ad, right? So where this can be effective is, say you sell ladies' shoes and you have an ad that has heels on it, an ad that has sneakers, and an ad that has boots. Instead of having to have one ad that has all of those 3 shoes and talks about all of them, trying to like make sense of somebody who wants one of them, all this, you can have them all together. So it's still one ad technically, even though there's several ads. I know it's kind of get confusing. But if the person's interested in heels, they'll click on the heel one. If someone's interested in sneakers, they click on the sneaker one. If someone's interested in the boots, they click on the boot one. So when they click on that, the message is going to be only about the boots, or only about the heels, or only about the shoes. However, you were still able to show all 3, but you were also able to keep it highly targeted. So the other option would be, like I said, having a single image with all of them, and then they click on it and you're like, do you like sneakers, heels, and boots? Well, we got them and they're really great for running, but also for going out and also for the winter. I hope you like this. No, bad. No message for everyone. So that's where carousel ads can be super amazing. There's tons of other ways to use them, but I think that's the best example I'm going to give right now. The other option for your format is a single image. You've all seen that. One image, person, buy my stuff, yay, and that's great. It's one image, sometimes text on there as well, so you have that single image. Same thing, single video, just one video on there, again, me, and buy myself, but now I'm moving, and you have that on there. So single video. Then you have slideshow. You know what a slideshow is? Several photos kind of showing up, doing their thing, slideshow. And then you have Canvas. Canvas is where it takes over the entire screen on your phone or your computer, basically looking like they went to your website or they're outside of Facebook, but they're not. Canvas is still kind of new. We're still testing it out. So I can't say I'm like a total expert with the Canvas stuff, but I know people have had really great experience and conversions with it. So again, this all comes down to testing it. There's no right or wrong for any of these. There's nothing that I can say, oh, well, for yours, you should really try this. It's really going to come down to testing and the specifics of your audience, depending on what it is. You know, if you know video is easier for them to digest, you know, again, knowing your audience. So knowing your audience and testing. So after you choose your format, then we need to get to the ad copy. What that means is what you write in your ad, the words on your ad. So as most of you know, as you've uploaded like your 500 vacation photos, you have that section at the top where you write, oh my God, vacation's amazing. My life's amazing. Everything's amazing. Your life sucks. Look at me on the beach. And that's the top section. So that is considered the body. And you'll have a part when you're in the back end there that'll say, you know, body. And that's where you're like, hey guys, I'm selling this awesome thing and I'm awesome. And if you want to be awesome, you should buy it. Then underneath the image or video or carousel is where you have the headline. I know it kind of doesn't make sense, headline at the bottom, but it's Facebook's rules, deal with it. It's at the bottom. And that's where you're going to be like, you know, if you want to be awesome too, click here and I'll teach you how to vacation like I do. That's your headline. Okay? So that's your body. And this is where copywriting does become really important. not to be an expert. You don't have to, you're not asking to write, no one's asking you to write a book or anything. But knowing some of the basic tips and tricks and hacks of copywriting is going to make a big difference in your ad. You have a very short amount of time to try to convince somebody to click this. And doing a cheesy, salesy, or over technical thing is not going to cut it. So make sure that you take the time to learn some basic copywriting. We do an entire class of copywriting in our workshop course. So again, it's 6 weeks, so we have a lot more time to really cover in depth all of these pieces. But if nothing else, make sure you brush up on a little bit of basic copywriting. It will make a difference in the success of your ad. So after that, you're still in the copy section, is to look at call to action. Like, okay, I'm convinced, I'm interested. What do I do next? I need to do something, right? Facebook gives you 6 options. One option is to have no option. One option is to have no button, basically. The other are 5 buttons. And the options are download. All right, download something. Book now. Book something. Shop now, learn more, or sign up. So what this means, depending on which one you choose, you need to be able to deliver. So if it's download, you need to be able to take them somewhere to download something. If it's book now, you need to be able to take them to some sort of calendar software or something, third-party integration, that they can book something. If they need to shop now, you're taking them somewhere to shop, an online store. Learn more, you're taking them somewhere to learn more or sign up. Where are they signing up? Facebook is not doing this for you, with the exception of lead ads. We'll get into that some other time. You need to take them somewhere. So this is where landing pages are so beneficial. A landing page is essentially like a mini website. And you might be thinking, well, I have a website. I'm just going to send them to my website. Let me tell you why that's a bad idea. So you want somebody to sign up, and you have a little sign up thing on your Facebook's, on your website. So they click your ad, and you've paid for that now, because you pay for that click. They clicked on it, they're going to your website, and you have this little thing that says sign up. But you also have like a video testimonial that you just got, you guys are super excited about. And then you have like a banner about some event coming up and your about section and this. And then they start like, oh, what's that? And they click and they're here and they're there and they're like down the rabbit hole, Alice, right? They're all over the place. And then their break is over because they were looking at it on break. And now they're gone. They never signed up. They didn't do anything. You paid for that click. Boom. They're gone. And it's out of sight, out of mind. They're never coming back. Yeah, they might come back. But you can't bank on that. So a landing page allows you to keep it specific. Silence all the noise, cancel all the distractions. They land on a page that says more about the signing up. Like, oh, we're so glad you're here. Signing up is so smart and it's so brilliant. And this is why it's going to make your life amazing. Sign up here. That's all. The only choice they have. That's the only choice they have, is to be convinced and do the action that you want. So these landing pages are hugely beneficial. We do a whole section on landing pages because there is, again, a method to that, understanding how to put them together. And listen, guys, I am not like a web designer techie person. I make landing pages. So it is something you can do. So if you do join our course, like, it's totally worth it, totally amazing, a great skill to have. Makes me that I do not have to bug my web guy all the time. I mean, I still do, but not all the time for landing pages. I use Lead Pages. It's a third party, so I use Lead Pages. I think they're amazing. I love them. There's another one that's ClickFunnels. They're probably like the top 2 contenders. And there's a bazillion more. So, I mean, yeah, we're not going to go into all that there, but in case you just want to like tip of the iceberg, check it out. That is what we work with. So you got to the landing page. Another quick note I want to throw in there is if they click on your ad, they end up at your website. They end up at your landing page, hopefully. And they're clicking around, but something happens or they're not sure and they don't sign up. Facebook has this thing called a pixel. And you take this pixel and you'll place it on your landing page or your website or your shopping cart, whatever. There's a lot of places you can put this pixel. This does get a little techie, but you can still handle it, I promise. If you're in our course, show you how to do it. So you're going to put that pixel. And what that does is it allows Facebook to track that person. Now, you're not actually going to know who they are. They're going to be like, oh, it was Arturo and he totally bailed on you. And you'll be like, Arturo, what the hell? That's not going to happen. But what it is going to do is you're going to be able to go back and say, okay, I want to run a second ad. And the ad I want to run is for everybody who showed up to my landing page and didn't sign up. And so you can run a second ad. It's only going to go to those people. So people who are already like mildly familiar with you because they clicked on it. And you could even say something specific as, still thinking about signing up? We're still here. There's still a day left. Boom, 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 boom. That second impression, that second chance, that second reminder, you're going to see a high increase in conversions. That is called retargeting. All right, we targeted them again. It was the first time. Now we're retargeting them again, right? It's called retargeting. So that is something that comes, with your business account. You can create a pixel. You'll see all that back there. And then you have to learn how to place your pixel in the various places. I know it's starting to sound all like crazy, but I just want you to know at least that it exists, even if it's not something that you can totally grasp yet, but it's an amazing thing that exists. And it's super powerful as you're moving into this type of marketing for your business. So let's see, do we have anything else? I know I told you it was going to be kind of crazy, kind of hectic, maybe not that exciting, but at the same time, super exciting because what you can do is like amazing. Like, there was a time where unless you had a budget like $300,000 or more to run a commercial to everyone, hoping a percentage of those people would be on board with what you're selling, that was like the only way. Now we can do this kind of stuff. Like, isn't that awesome? I think it's freaking exciting. Like, okay, maybe I'm a little nerded out on the marketing thing, but I think it's amazing. So here we go. We've chose our objective. We chose our format. We did our image. All this stuff, right? We did it all. Like, yay, we have our ad. But you still have to submit it for approval. I know, right? You're like, but I did so much. What do you mean? It could be disapproved. Yeah, it can. Facebook has a lot of very specific rules about the ad. And some are very clear and obvious. Some are very vague and kind of left to the interpretation of the person approving it. And honestly, some just don't make any freaking sense at all. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but it is the way it is. Now, doing it as long as we have learned some of the, I don't even want to say hacks, but we've learned what they're looking for, what they want, what flies and what doesn't. At the same time, it's always changing. And I mean, always changing. There's actually a weekly blog that exists for every change that Facebook makes because they make weekly changes. But there's some basics. So let's go over a few basics, right? Some obvious ones like nudity. You can't have nudity up there. Profanity. You can't have a big, F-bomb on your ad. You can have it on your personal, but you can't have it on your ad. Violence. Not cool, not fun thing. Drug use, promoting it, showing it, anything like that. Even if it's against it, it's not something that they can show in advertising. Again, you can show it in your personal. If you're sharing something, you'll probably like, well, I've seen that. You have, but not for advertising. Another one is like negative feelings and perceptions. So you can't say something like, want to fix your snaggly teeth? Like, that's not going to fly with Facebook. On that same vein, it's very rare that you can get a before and after photo approved as well. So you might have some amazing significant change with something. This is very, very specifically strict with like diet and exercise, obviously, because they feel that like gives a negative perception and expectation of what determines beauty. And I mean, in a lot of ways it can. I mean, whatever. Take and leave it however you want. I don't really care, but those are the rules. So you can't do it. Now, there are some circumstances where it gets by, but it's honestly a toss-up. You never know. I've had something that was completely in the right vein, had it disapproved, sent an approval, and they were like, oh, you're right, we're totally dumb, and they fixed it. I've had it happen the other way where you're like, are you kidding me? It's like a before and after of a butterfly, and they were like, no, it's not going to fly. Literally. So, stuff and things, it gets complicated. Now, this is something that we offer support in, again, with our course, and we talk about, and because we do live lessons, it's something that we can actually work with you, almost one-on-one with. But yeah, it gets crazy. It's Facebook. Welcome. Another thing is text size. That's actually something that changes a lot too. How much text you can have on your image. So those are some of the basics. There's a lot more like kind of nuances and stuff, but that just gives you an idea of what you're dealing with in the approval process. And then you get approved. Yay. And then you can run an ad. Yay. And then you can monitor the hell out of it. Yay. General rule too, guys, if you're already at this point, if you made it all the way through to this and you like have an ad ready to go, I'm going to tell you this, please, oh please, oh please, give it 48 to 72 hours before you start freaking out or making changes or staring at every little thing. Because especially when you first start advertising, it takes Facebook a while to figure out the best delivery, the best results, the best people to send it to, because they want you to do well too, because it means that you're going to keep paying. When you have a campaign that's not working, you're going to stop it. So they want to find the best results for you as well, but they're not going to know it right out the gate. They test the waters too, and they figure it out. So unless something significant happens where you're getting $80 a click, which would be terrifying, don't freak out right away. You might have clicks starting at $2 or $1.60. Just give it some time. Give it some time before you start making changes. You're going to, more times than not, you're going to see that go down. I've had one start at like $1.60 a click, and then they go to 13 cents. So you just need to give it time. So unless it's something detrimental and scary, watch it and let it simmer before you start making changes. So I usually say 48 to 72 hours or within the first $30, whichever one you can handle and is more comfortable before you start making changes. So that's it. I mean, for the basics in a nutshell, there's obviously, like I said, so much more. That is why our course is 6 weeks, because it takes a lot. But it's such an amazing thing, not only for your business, but if you're looking for something as a career, this is something that you can do as an agency and start helping other businesses that, it takes a lot to learn, and you have this asset now in your arsenal. So it's definitely an amazing thing. If you're interested, reach out. We do have some pre-signups before we start launching. So message me, anything like that. Yeah, I hope this was helpful. I know this was a really long rise and grind. It's not normally how we do it. But you guys asked, I'm here to deliver. So if you have any questions, I'm sure you do, comments, concerns, you just want to say you like my necklace or say hello, comment below, tell me, or maybe you hate something, you're like, oh my God, fix your hair, stop saying right so much. I know, I do, right? Yeah, okay? Thank you so much. Love you guys. See you soon. Next week, Instagram. Bye.